The intervention video, Introduction to Microsoft Reading Progress. What is Reading Progress? Reading Progress is a free tool built into Microsoft Teams designed to support and track reading fluency in your class. Students record their reading on camera and submit it to you. What can it do? So Reading Progress uses AI and it tracks student fluency, words per minute, accuracy, number of attempts, mispronunciations, omissions, and provides instant feedback at pupil and class level for teachers. How can this be helpful? Listening on a one-to-one basis to a learner to read is labour-intensive. Reading Progress allows teachers to set tasks and see individual and class level data. So how does it work? On Microsoft Teams, you're able to set assignments, and within this, you would set tasks for the students to be able to read, either in class time or homework. When the students read in, the AI then analyzes the speech and then gives you a correct words per minute, the accuracy rate, then it works out the the mispronunciations, omissions, self-corrections, insertions, and repetition. And this is also highlighted for the student to be able to see this themselves. This can be combined with a reading coach, which will then practice the words that the students are struggling with. One of the key features of the software is the data and insights that it produces. So you can see from here that there's a word cloud, and this is the most commonly challenging words for the students in the class. You can then create a challenge assignment, which will then write the text, which you can then use for the students. How are teachers using Reading Progress? So teachers are using Reading Progress in class time. It now has a feature for noise cancelling, so that teachers can set this with classes with the headsets, and if you enable the noise cancelling, it will then eliminate the noise from the recording. It's also being used as homework, so the assignment feature can be set as weekly homework. The teacher can disable the camera feature when setting this up if it's done from home, so you'll only hear the student voice rather than any recording to the student. It's been used by teachers to inform planning. So as I've already showed, it shows individual and class level data. This can be used to highlight common areas for improvement, which can then be built into future lesson planning. And there's a reading coach. So if you enable this when you set up your assignment, the most common words that students struggle with will then be set as tasks for them to complete. At What Worked, we did an initial school pilot, and this was to test the effectiveness of Microsoft Reading Progress with Year 8 students for Spanish. So the task was to test the impact of Reading Progress on improving pronunciation. One class of 23 students of identical attaining classes taught Spanish by the same teacher using the identical methods were selected at random and giving it homework in Reading Progress once a week for 8 weeks. So one class received Reading Progress and the other class received the usual homework that they were being given by the teacher. The children using Reading Progress recorded the videos of themselves reading out loud short passages of text and received immediate feedback on mispronunciations. At the beginning of the 8 weeks, all 41 children from both the control and the intervention classes read a test passage using Reading Progress to provide a baseline, and 8 weeks later they all read the same passage again. So Reading Progress was used as the pre and post assessment for a reading task. So what did we find? Children practicing Reading Progress out loud once a week for 8 weeks mispronounced significantly fewer words than similar students who learned Spanish in the same way in all other aspects. Analysis suggested for any difference in attainment between the groups using analysis of covariance with the pre-test and covariate. And what we found is children using Reading Progress produced 35% fewer mispronunciations than the control, and it had an effect size of 0.55. So Reading Progress for this trial that we ran showed that it did reduce the mispronunciations compared to the control students. What we've done for the trial is we've included a resource in the resource folder, which includes support documentation to help you get familiar with Reading Progress if you're not already using it. So it has an introduction video. It has a short course from Microsoft, which goes through step by step how to set up assignments, how to use the data insights. There's also an interactive guide there from Microsoft. And one of the questions that we were often asked is, where can you download the CSV file to get the data? And we've included a quick explanation on where that can be found. So the advice that we've got is, before starting your trial, make sure you go through the resources just so you're familiar with how to set up the reading progress. So next steps is moving on to the implementation.